But as stopovers go, this has to rank as one of the best we've ever had. Absolutely beautiful, peaceful facilities. Yeah, I love it.
Welcome back to the channel. We're Dan and Stephen, a married couple living and travelling in our little 1996 VW campervan. In between work, we've discovered more of the UK than we ever dreamed possible, and now we take our van across the channel to mainland Europe. This week we head for a picturesque village in the hills that ended up being one of our most memorable park-ups we've had so far. So sit back, relax, and come along, dear.
You ready to go, Steve?
I'm ready to go.
We're ready to leave.
I'm waiting.
Oh, I feel a bit sad now.
I don't.
But I'm happy we came here.
journey.
Yeah. No, but I mean, it's like, we're leaving this place, we don't know when we come back. There's always a bit of that involved.
We're going over there, that's pretty.
Right, bye-bye, Campinar Manello.
Take the next right onto Camí de la Manello.
After leaving Benidorm, we headed inland and took a drive up into the hills.
Good girl, Days, you're doing well. No, you don't like hills. So we just found this park up in the hills. There is no one here, and this is the one that's got drinking water apparently, and there's a swimming pool over there. It's absolutely deserted. It's a bit windy, a bit chilly, but you know what, it's alright. And right next to it you've got this old castle ruins to explore. You've got all these little barbecues here. I've seen them in a few places in Spain now. And little benches. I guess this is like a camping or holiday area, or it was. Maybe in the summer. It's got that kind of abandoned feel, like everybody's suddenly upped and left. Kids' playground. And over here is the swimming pool, but I doubt it's open. Oh my God, look at that. That looks glorious. Sadly, however, it's locked. That looks really nice as well. So it's all closed up for now, but there's a sign up kind of implying that it's pretty new. It looks kind of new. So maybe it'll open later in the season. Oh my God, it looks really nice. I want to go in. You've actually got toilets here. That actually look really nice. Oh my God. And we've got drinking water, I believe. I hope. Pray, pray, pray. Yes. Oh, thank God. Well, so far, this is pretty perfect. I can't believe it. I think if you're in a big motorhome, you might struggle because the road upwards is kind of steep, but not too bad. But the final bit is a really steep turn that goes right round the corner, and even we struggled a little bit in the van. So in anything bigger, it might be really tricky. But you'd probably be able to do it. This is amazing. So we're going to pick our spot because that's a little bit slopey. Get settled and go and explore the village, I think. I love it. I love Spain. This is so amazing. It's full of surprises, you know. And you know, it is tricky. There are places that ban it, and but it's not as bad as the UK. Obviously, that's a big thing there. It's quite tricky to park anywhere there now, but Spain is still not so bad. They tend to ban it a lot on the seafront, but there's plenty of other options, and this is one of them. So yeah, can't knock it. So we're in this little village called, I think it's called Relleu, and it's just outside of Benidorm. It's about a half an hour drive, and we've been here about 2 hours now, and it's like, there's no one about. It's so peaceful, it's gorgeous, like the parking is great, there's some facilities, you've got toilets, there's some running water. it's one of those things that it's like, should we film this? Because it's like, it feels so secret. But let's just spell it out. It's on Park for Night, so it's not a secret. You know what I mean? It's there for people to find. But nonetheless, it's kind of like, oh, I want people to enjoy this, but obviously in the sense of just, you know, come along, enjoy it and leave and don't cause any trouble sort of thing, because this is so breathtaking. You've got the mountains in the background, all the way they just stick up, and it's incredible. There's a castle up there that's like an old ruin we can have a look at. The village down there, I don't know if it's a town village. There's a few little bars and restaurants, which we might eat at later or tomorrow. And it's picture perfect. And the peace. We're high up in the mountains. The wind's not too bad. It keeps getting up every now and again, but it's not so bad. The sun's out. It's really hot. We can't ask for more, really, can we?
No, it's beautiful.
Oh, it's so good. I love it.
After this, we took a walk down into the quaint little hillside village of Relleu. We have become accustomed to these pretty places, the beautiful colours and their Mediterranean charm since arriving in Spain, but the effect never seemed to wear off, and we were always bedazzled whenever we had the chance to see one.
So what's this castle, Steve?
On a hill.
Right. We didn't look anything up. We don't know what it is.
Yeah, we'll find out when we get there.
We'll find that out when we put a voiceover in or something to make it look like we know what we're talking about, which we obviously don't.
We never do.
We do sometimes. In fact, I would say when we visit places, we quite regularly look up the information, so we at least attempt to try and talk about it in some form of knowledgeable way. But it doesn't always work, because you often forget the facts as soon as you've read them. So it is usually easier to do a voiceover, to be honest. Steve's already stopped for a break.
Nice view.
It is a nice view. Look at that sun setting, that's brilliant, isn't it? Love that golden shine.
Built around the end of the 12th century, Relleu Castle was once an important strategic fort in the area, to both guard the local population, but also to control the territory. However, once the Christian and Muslim wars ended with the expulsion of the Moorish people from Spain in 1609, the castle fell into disuse and is now just a ruin. Despite this, it makes for an incredibly atmospheric view on top of the hill of the surrounding countryside, which was just breathtaking as the sun began to set.
What you got there, Dan?
I've got eggy bread, and it's really nice actually. So Stephen's made this for me while I've just finished some stuff on the laptop. And it's really lovely. It's just a bit of bread, tomato sauce, and then what have you done? Cooked it in the egg?
Just put a bit of egg and milk in a bowl, or on a plate, sorry, and then just soak your bread. And then fry it, just like egg on toast.
The next morning, while I got on with some editing, Stephen went on a little solo trek he filmed. Yes, you heard that correctly, Stephen took himself for a walk. Miracles are real, folks, and you saw it here first.
So Dan is working, he's doing the voiceovers, and I think it's best to give him some space while he does that. So and he does all of the video work. So on that basis, I am going to try and do a little video myself so I can contribute. So I started videoing a second ago, but unfortunately, like I usually do, I forgot to press the button. So this walk leads to a little chapel, and I don't know the name of the chapel, so we'll find out when we get there. But it's got a number of these little stone huts things, and I think each one has a picture. It's obviously related to the chapel, so I think each picture kind of depicts the journey of Christ, basically. So this is number 11. I remembered Roman numerals. So I think I probably need to go down and start at the bottom. So unlike me, and for the purposes of this video, I'm actually going to walk downhill deliberately to walk up the hill, just so I can show the little walkway that's by us on the way to the chapel, because I think it's kind of interesting. Okay, this is number 1. I don't think I'm going to show you all of every one of these, but it's just to tell you that there's the markings just to highlight the story, so you can consider this my pilgrimage, if you like. Right, now we're coming up to one of my favourite things about a walk. A bench. I'm being a bit indulgent here because actually I don't need to sit down, so I'm just going to carry on. Favourite things. Hello friends, not today. Right, so we're nearly there. It was a short walk, so if you're really not inclined to do long walks, but you're here and you want to see something interesting or anything, then this is perfect. See, I'm not really out of breath, am I? So somehow we've got back to number 1. So maybe I should have started up here and walked down, or I've got it all backwards. And doesn't sound like me. While we're here, just before we look at the chapel, which I think is closed, this is the view from behind. I mean, it's amazing. It is absolutely amazing up here, and it's so quiet. Like when you drive around Spain and you do the whole kind of touring around in your motorhome. Being from the UK and never really having been abroad before, I was so surprised at the amount of motorhomes that there really are, considering we're in what's really the winter season. But what's most surprising is the actual size of them. They're like beasts. They're like huge spaceships on wheels, and they're kind of, you know, each to their own. And I'm not criticising anybody, but they take up a lot of room. So I can kind of see how it's challenging for some communities here in Spain when you've got so many really large vehicles like that. You know, it's like having, you really want trucks everywhere in your town? No, of course you don't. And I know they're not the size of trucks, but you know, come on, they are quite big, and I can see why people do get annoyed. However, that said, in Spain I've been really surprised. There are so many free airs, as we'll probably say on millions of videos, you know, some with free electricity. I mean, what more can you ask for? And I think what's really funny is if you look on Park for Night, and you'll see some of the comments from people, and the expectations are so high, like, oh, I was kept tonight by, oh, I don't want to do accents because that sounds a bit rude, but people saying, oh, I've been kept tonight by church bells or dogs bark. And it's like, you're in a free area, you're getting free electricity, you're getting free, you know, usage of the waste disposal services, you're getting free water, you're getting everything for free. You know, stop moaning. And if you expect everything to be quiet when you're in a van, then you didn't have the right idea to begin with. And I'll get off my soapbox at that point, but you know, whatever, that's what I think. Here is the main chapel at the top, which is really, really pretty. I would like to go inside, but it's not open, unfortunately. So that's it. That's the walkway up to here. Little flyby tour, really, and my little attempt at taking part in the videos. I'm just going to show you the view from the back of here, though, because it is really pretty. It's very pretty. this little place is just about half an hour outside Benidorm, so I'm going to turn into an estate agent now. So actually, if you wanted to live somewhere in Spain that was quite close to kind of the fun and frivolity, but still wanted to be able to get away, this would be a nice spot really. So when you actually pull in here, there is a board which gives you all of the walking routes here. So if you really like hiking, this would probably be a really good place. I think you'd have to be quite fit and healthy though, because if you noticed, all of the routes are considered. Oh no, maybe not. I thought everything meant difficult, but saying difficulty. Okay, so there's 4 levels of difficulty, so the one I've just done is probably like nothing. Probably not even on there, to be fair. But yeah, if you like walking, this is a good place to come. And just one last thing, Daniel, if this isn't usable at all, then stick it up your
Any more of that, Stephen, and I might just leave in all of the worst bits. Anyway, on that delightful note, that night we went out for dinner in the village, and the next morning I decided to have a brief wander myself before we left this most perfect of park-ups.
You know, one thing I love about doing this and coming to other countries, Spain again, is somewhere we've never been to, mainland Spain, and taken the van, but one thing I really love is seeing all different vegetation and plants and flowers and things that you have no idea what they are, but just something different, you know. I always find it fascinating. But as stopovers go, this has to rank as one of the best we've ever had. Absolutely beautiful, peaceful facilities, signal as well, which is always handy. Yeah, I love it.
Where you been, Dan?
Where have I been? So I've been down into town. No, I haven't been down into town. I've just been around the castle. I was going to go for a longer walk, but it was a bit confusing to see where all the trails went. I didn't really understand, if I'm honest. And I just thought that's a recipe for disaster. And then we're going to, I don't know, I'm quite happy. I feel like we're toying with the idea of maybe staying another night, but I'm not 100% on this. What do you reckon?
Yeah, well, I'm quite happy to just sit where we are just to charge things up at the moment.
It means that tomorrow's a fresh start, like the day begins, and we just get up and go, whereas we're waiting for things to charge now, and it's like it's getting to late afternoon, so you're kind of like, I don't know what to do. So yeah, anyway, that's that.
What you got to eat there, Dan?
What have I got to eat? Well, I've got a combination of tinned beans, green beans, some leftover lentils in the cupboard, some leftover tomato and onion. I've plonked a bit of mustard and pepper on it. It's called like leftovers using stuff up because I'm hungry, and that was what was there, to be honest. So that's it. I have no idea. Tastes good though. Back to the scraps. Yum.
And so we left Relleu behind us, feeling grateful for this amazing park-up and briefly stopping on the way to marvel at a pretty reservoir below us before heading on to our next destination. Join us next week as we explore the rainbow-coloured streets of Villaroyosa before heading to Europe's largest saltwater lagoon. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a like, press the free subscribe button to keep up with our travels, and ding the notification bell so you don't miss an episode. Thanks for watching, and see you on the next one.